Hey YouTube, it's going to be another Meier video, so here we go. Alright, so I have a few. There's going to be one that's going to be about a different story. It's going to be Meier's mom, and it's going to be about Phoebe Prince, or Phoebe in that video, but it's mostly covering the topic of Meier. Alright, here we go.
Joining us now from St. Louis is Tina Meier, whose daughter Megan committed suicide after being cyberbullied. And with her is 17-year-old Brittany Jordan, who is a cyberbully victim herself.
Okay, I can tell you, cyberbullying happens. It happens. I've been bullied mostly on YouTube. And YouTube's full of shitheads. You have to understand that. There are a lot of people on YouTube who are shitheads or assholes. There's this one guy named Antonio. I can't think of his last name. I can't remember his last name, but his name's Antonio something. It's Antonio something something. He bullied my girlfriend over her speech, over her singing, and over her putting on makeup, and said she can't. He's not being mean, and he said I was trying to act tough, and then he called me a dickhead, and I called him a fuckstick. I was about to tell him, yeah, at least I got a dick, you little wuss. Yeah, I don't like this kid. He bashed my fiance's videos, and then he called her an idiot.
And also tried to take her own life. Ladies, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
You're welcome. Brittany, let me begin with you. When you hear Phoebe's story this morning, do you think to yourself, that was almost me?
Yes, I do. It makes me hurt inside knowing that she took her own life.
I've been close to that. I took a whole handful of antidepressants once and took them all because I've seen it done in a movie where a guy needed pills for his Tourette's syndrome, and he said, they gave me these pills for the Tourette's, but they're not working, or something like that. But here we go.
At your lowest point, Brittany, how bad did the cyberbullying get?
It got bad enough to where I was hospitalized and to where I was a totally different person.
My mom called the poison control about my almost suicide.
Why did you think that suicide was the only option?
I just thought it was the only way to go because I was put down so much that I thought that...
You know, something funny about a put down is I didn't even know what the hell a put down was. In what was it? In second grade, my teacher told us what put down was. It was my gym teacher. He said that put down would be like, all of you guys have elephant breath. Now that's actually kind of funny, but he was saying no put downs in this, and he said a put down is like, all of you guys have elephant breath, and I thought that was kind of funny. What? Sorry about the laughing about this, because this is supposed to be a serious video, but I've been put down before. I've been called fat, I've been called retard, I've been called asshole, I've been called dickhead, I've been called bitch.
It was just the only thing I could do to get away from all the hurt and pain.
Did you ever try to reach out to anyone?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say to anybody.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when you tell someone and you tell the principal, it doesn't always work. Because they think, oh, they told me. I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to bully them. Or something like this. Something you could do if someone threatens you with a weapon is tell a police officer, and then you could probably then they would probably go to jail for threatening you with a weapon. But if you bring a weapon at school, you'll get an immediate expulsion. You'll get expelled. Plus, you could also go to jail for wanting to kill someone. Yeah.
I want to bring in Tina, who I know has counseled you a lot, Brittany, through your tough time. Tina, you lost your daughter Megan to this. Did you ever have any indication of what she was going through?
Well, Megan's was handled differently. Megan was cyberbullied for a 2-hour period. She talked to Josh Evans for 5 weeks, but her cyberbullying happened differently. Where I think
Megan also had a very beautiful smile.
sometimes cyberbullying that happens over a repeated period of time, there are different signs that you can start seeing. Megan, yes, I was very vigilant. I knew what she was doing on the computer, but hers happened a little differently than most do.
Now you've studied this, you know so much about this. What are some of those signs that parents should look out for?
I think some of the most important things parents can do for the teens is, one, talking to your kids, having an open communication.
Yeah, that is one thing. And one thing is, I would always tell my mom that I was bullied, and then she tried to put a stop to it, and some of the teachers didn't look like they didn't even give a shit, because kids started bullying me, and then I got hooked onto the Columbine Massacre, so I got really, really, really aggressive, and then I told someone I was going to shoot them or blow up the school. That's how angry I got, and then it finally passed. The next year I came back, and I was calm and not threatening anyone anymore, but I would like blare up my music on my iPod on a different one than this, and I would walk down the hallway and give everyone this little look. I'd be like, and then people were getting scared of me. One kid said, "Why are you looking at me like you want to kill me?" And I was glaring down the hallway, at everyone. And then one kid got scared.
Knowing what they're doing on the computer.
Then they said I was the Hulk, because I got angry easily. I did get angry.
Not allowing them to have a computer in the other room and not knowing what's going on. Knowing if they have a Facebook, a MySpace account. Knowing who their friends are online. If they start...
Those sites can be safe if you set them to private.
Having their grades drop, not wanting to go to school, not using their cell phone like their friends are online. If they start having their grades drop, not wanting to go to school, not using their cell phone like they did before, not getting on the internet like they did before, they're starting to be isolated from some of their friends. There are a lot of signs that the kids will start showing.
I failed badly in high school because I had autism and I needed help and no one would give it to me. And by the way, I'm a hands-on learner, and I think my teacher disagreed with that, because she said whenever I did hands-on things, she said I thought that I was not good. But actually, a fortune teller, a palm reader, told me that whenever a teacher explains it to me, it frustrates me. So whenever I touch something, I know how to do it myself with my hands. And even in my science teacher, my high school science teacher said I was really good working with my hands. Yeah.
Just obviously, don't want to start showing depressed signs. And these things, a lot of times I say this before, children don't have to always be depressed to go through these types of situations when they're being cyberbullied. It's not just depressed children. These can be everyday kids who are going through their lives that can all of a sudden get in a situation that are being cyberbullied, that can transform them into the situation, and it can be devastating for them.
Let me give you the last word, Brittany. You survived this. You're such a role model to kids out there who are going through this. What is your advice to them?
My advice to them would be to know that they're loved and to know that people care about them and that they can make it through this. And
yeah, if any kids are watching this and you're being cyberbullied, don't take your life. You have a life worth living. I know Megan had a life worth living too, and it's so unfortunate that her life was crushed.
that people love them and they can do it.
To reach out to other people and talk.
Yeah.
Get some help.
To get help and talk to people and let them know how you're feeling instead of taking your own life.
And Tina Meier is a really good role model. She's a great role model.
Not getting the chance to talk to anybody and tell them how you felt.
Brittany Jordan, Tina Meier. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm 23 years old now, so I know what it's like. Okay, here's another video about Megan. This one always gives me goosebumps, as I said in the previous video. Wait
At
for it.
first glance, this MySpace page looks like one belonging... At first glance, this...
Just wait for it. But by the way, the first song is called Baby Come Back to Me, or I think it's called Baby Come Back to Me, sang by Vanessa Hutchins, and then the second one they play is In the Arms of an Angel by Sarah McLaughlin.
At first glance, this MySpace page looks like one belonging to a typical teenager. She likes hot guys and hip-hop. But scroll down.
That's the part that gives me goosebumps. I can feel them down my arm even though I'm dressed in a jacket. I just get goosebumps every time I hear that In the Arms of an Angel part in this video. So let's go over this one.
This is her memorial page. This girl just wrote, I really wish I could have had a chance to meet you. I wanted to meet the beautiful and smart girl that everyone talks about. I hope you're resting easy, baby girl.
I wish I could have met Megan too and given her a big brother hug and protected her from all this cyberbullying.
This has about 90,000 views.
Megan Meier was 13 when she took her own life over a year ago. In September of 2006, Megan was just shy of her 14th birthday when what seemed to be a budding online relationship with a boy calling himself Josh Evans ended badly.
What's going on there? Hey, calm down. What is going on there? My daughter just hung herself.
She, of course she's gonna freak out over her daughter killing herself.
The tragedy was compounded when it was learned that the cyber friendship that drove her to hang herself had been a hoax. Other kids posing as a fictitious boy. The sense of outrage deepened when one of the young participants in the hoax came forward.
She told us she had information that it was Lori Drew who created this MySpace account along with her 18-year-old employee and her daughter.
Lori Drew was not another preteen, but the mother of a girl who lived down the street. One person involved claims that Lori Drew asked her to create an account for the kids.
Who do you blame?
Obviously, I blame the Drews. I blame them because they
Yeah, I do too. What they did was wrong, and they made Megan happy, and then they made her sad. They made her take her life.
absolutely created the false account to completely trick my daughter.
Despite the tragic end of Megan's life, no criminal charges were brought against anyone by the state of Missouri. The internet is a young medium, and there were no laws on the books set up to address a case like this.
How did that make you feel? How could it be possible that no laws were...
I'm just gonna say one thing. 3 words. That's fucking ridiculous.
broken here?
It's pathetic that we, as a society, do not have laws to protect our children.
In an unlikely twist, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles started its own investigation of Lori Drew. But the alleged victim is not who you would think. It's MySpace, based in Beverly Hills. The prosecutor has decided to try a new tactic in this case, gambling on...
Someone said that they should be sentenced to jail for 90 days. If I was the head of MySpace, I would ban Lori Drew, Sarah Drew, or Ashley Grills from ever making a MySpace, and then I would send them to jail. I would send Ashley to jail for 5 years, Lori Drew for 30, and Sarah to juvie for about 2 or 3 years. Or at least a year. And then I would also fine them $100,000 or more. Maybe $1 million.
a charge he thinks may stick: wire fraud. Lori Levinson knows just how difficult it can be to prosecute such a controversial case. She spent several years in that same office.
In this situation, the prosecutors are searching around. We want to find her guilty of something. What can we get, even if it's a stretch?
Prosecutors may claim Lori Drew defrauded MySpace by helping set up a bogus profile on their website, posing as a minor, and targeted at another minor, Megan Meier. An act that her family believes set off the chain of events that inexplicably led to the death of Megan Meier.
Describe for me what kind of young girl Megan was.
Megan was, a goofy girl.
She's like me. I take goofy pictures of myself too. I'm always like this, sort of. Yeah, you see, I'm kind of goofy myself, and I'd be like this a lot. I'd always be like this.
Megan just giggled a lot.
I bet she liked giggling.
She was a class clown.
Yeah, just like me. I tried to make everyone laugh at school, and I was always goofy. Being goofy's fun. And she had a beautiful smile. And this is my smile. And one of my bosses, one of my second string bosses, I actually got a new boss just recently, said my smile's really nice. Yeah. Alright.
This goofy girl, however, had battled bouts of depression since the 3rd grade, telling her mother she wanted to commit suicide and cutting her arms. Like many young girls, she struggled with her self-esteem and desired to fit in.
In 7th grade is when Megan had a really, really tough year. That was the year that Megan was really, truly just trying to fit in.
Yeah, I'm like Megan trying to fit in.
And she just couldn't figure it out. And it's a tough year for a lot of children.
In the beginning of her 8th grade year, one boy seemed to appear on Megan's MySpace account out of nowhere.
How did Megan's online interaction with Josh Evans begin?
She had a new friend request, and she looked at it, and it was a picture of a really good-looking boy, and said he wanted to be friends with her. And Megan looked at me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, he is so hot." And I said, "Do you know who he is?" And she's like, "No." And I said, "Well, then I don't think you should add him."
Megan's persistence paid off. Tina Meier reluctantly allowed her to accept Josh Evans as a friend.
What did some of the emails say?
They were instant messages, and it was, "Gosh, you're so cute," or "Your eyes are beautiful," that type of stuff.
But from the beginning, Tina Meier sensed that there was something off about Josh Evans.
I was very open with her, and I said, "Megan, we don't know who this person is. This could be, a 40-year-old pervert. This could be the 16-year-old person, or it could be a 20-year-old person. We don't have a clue who this person is." Again, remember, people can be anybody that they say they want to be on the computer.
Unfortunately, her mother's intuition was right, though she never imagined that Josh Evans was a fake cyber character allegedly concocted by neighbors just 4 homes away. Lori and Kurt Drew had been a part of the Meyers' life for years. Their daughter was the same age as Megan, and the 2 girls had been friends since elementary school.
I think Megan's birthday, I think Megan was 3 days older.
There was a lot of ups and downs with the friendship during that 7th grade year. One day that they would be friends, one day they wouldn't be friends. And I constantly battled with Lori Drew.
Their friendship eventually ended, and prosecutors may claim that Lori Drew, her daughter, and an 18-year-old family friend worked together to create this fictitious boyfriend for Megan.
If you guys want to know, I had heard about Megan's story a long time ago, and I was filming videos about Megan, just recently. I mean, I had heard about Megan 4 years ago, and then I started filming videos at the end of April, but didn't really post them. It was like April 25th or something. It was a night before I was gonna go to work the next day, and I just stumbled across. I was about to go watch a video about Amanda Todd, but then I clicked on one of Megan's parents' videos because I had seen them before. So I posted them, and this video about Megan was posted a month later, May 19th. I posted like 4, but now I'm in the 20s, Let's move on.
The alleged motive? To find out if Megan was saying mean things about the Drew's daughter.
When did the emails get negative? When did they get nasty?
The very first negative email of any kind came on Sunday, October 15th.
I'm going to read this. Is that the email that says, "I don't want to be friends with you"?
Day before Megan hung herself. That was the night before Megan hung herself. and that was the day before, and this, and when she hung herself, that was one day before she died, because Blaine Buckles got her heart to start beating again, a slight pulse.
Anymore because you're not nice to your friends.
Right.
A confused Megan wrote back, but she didn't get a response. On October 16th, she went to school and handed out invitations to her 14th birthday party. She'd already picked out the polka dot dress.
I think she was a Christian or a Catholic, because she went to a Catholic school later, private school.
She was going to wear. At 3:20, Megan returned home and rushed to the computer to see if Josh Evans had responded to her message.
I heard that she had a great day at first, and then she went back and had a bad day because she was, I heard at first it was a good day, but then it turned negative or something.
His face message.
Or that it was, I know it turned negative. At one point she was kind of a little bit, in between with the Josh Evans thing and maybe happy that people were going to come to her birthday,
Then she opens up the other message, and the message says, "You hurt me. I said you're not a nice person, and I don't want to be friends with you any longer." It was typically back and forth, who are you talking to? Who's telling me that I'm mean?
At 5 o'clock, Tina Meier returned home from an appointment and found her daughter distraught. What began as Megan's attempt to understand why Josh Evans no longer wanted to be her friend.
I think Megan was using really bad, vulgar profanity towards those people who were... I think they called Megan a fat ass and a whore, and I think she said, "I'm not these things, you're these things," and she must have swore back.
Had devolved into a barrage of insults with other kids joining in.
All of Josh's friends, all of Megan's friends, calling Megan a whore, a fat ass, calling her all kinds of god-awful names. And I had said, "Megan, you know what? I am really disappointed with the words and the language that you're using."
Now, what's her reaction to all this? How is she feeling?
She was crying, and she's...
Really, Megan should have just logged off and ignored it. I mean, I'm the same way as Megan. I get back and I say, "Fuck you, you're an asshole, fuck you, go fuck yourself, go die in fucking hell." That's the way I respond.
Said, "You're supposed to be my mom. You're supposed to be on my side."
Megan took off running up the stairs. 20 minutes later, Tina Meier got a horrible feeling in her stomach.
I hadn't heard anything. Nothing. My heart dropped. And I just took off up the stairs. And I opened her door, and I just saw her hanging in her closet.
That night, the Meyers tried to contact Josh Evans, but as quickly as he'd come into her life, he had vanished.
What we saw were the last 2 messages sent from Josh Evans, which...
It was, "The world will be everybody in O'Fallon knows who you are. You're a bad person. Everyone hates you. Have a shitty rest of your life. The world will be a better place without you."
were the world will be a better place without you and have a rest of your life.
Lori Drew's attorney says she didn't have anything to do with setting up this account.
Did Lori Drew set up or help create a fictitious website in the name of Josh Evans to monitor Megan Meier?
She did not.
Did
He's a liar. She
she
did.
instruct anyone to do so?
She did not.
So she didn't send an email.
She's a liar. She's a lying bitch.
She did not send any emails.
All Lori Drew did was be aware that they were doing this.
Correct.
Many of the viewers are going to be asking themselves, how could an adult, a mother, exercise such poor judgment and let this happen, knowingly let this happen?
Well, I think her judgment was probably clouded by a mother's concern for her daughter. Mean things were being said about her. And so she didn't think in a million years what happened would happen. That's, I think, why she didn't put a stop to it.
This novel criminal case could also present many challenges for the prosecution and problems for others who may have defrauded MySpace.
Yeah, you know what? She even admitted it, so I think the lawyer's wrong there.
The huge issue in this case is the federal government all of a sudden going to step in with a wire fraud statute and charge everybody who's making misrepresentations on the internet? That would be an awful lot.
Even if Lori Drew is ultimately charged, she would probably face little time behind bars if convicted. And it wouldn't bring back Megan Meier.
And Megan had a beautiful smile.
My name is Tina Meier, and I'm the founder and executive director of the Megan Meier Foundation.
Yeah, you know, I'm really glad she made the Megan Meier Foundation, and I'm pretty sure Megan's proud of her.
I want to talk to you about cyberbullying.
And I bet you anything, when Tina goes and sees Megan in heaven someday, they're gonna embrace each other.
And I want to talk to you about a story about my daughter, Megan. Megan was born on November 6th of 1992. She was this amazing girl.
She was almost 10 months younger than me. Mine's January 19th, 1992. That's when I was born. 23. I'll be 24 in 2 months. My fiance is gonna turn 24 on the 11th, which is next week.
Megan suffered from self-esteem issues from
Oh. It's Megan's birthday on Friday. Will be her 23rd birthday.
very early on. And in 3rd grade, Megan was diagnosed with depression and attention deficit disorder. Megan struggled through the rest of elementary and into middle school.
Cute when she was a kid. Beautiful when she was a teenager.
Megan went through the traditional name calling, the isolating, those bullying issues.
Yeah, the thing is, Megan is a very beautiful girl. They called her names, fat cow and elephant. They probably didn't even recognize how beautiful she really was. And by reckoning, I care more what's on the inside than the outside.
In the beginning of her 8th grade year, Megan came home and asked if she could have a MySpace.
I think the MySpace was for her 14th birthday present or something.
And 3 weeks in, she got a friend.
I made my MySpace when I was 17. I knew about MySpace, but I didn't. I tried to make one once and it wasn't a great success, and then I made myself a MySpace when I was 17 in 2009. 3 years after Megan died, and then I didn't know about her until 2 years after that. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, so I made a MySpace 6 years ago, and I don't even really use it. Facebook is now the better site. I made a Facebook, and I'm like, this is lame. Is this like a ripoff of MySpace? Eric Vierthaler, my buddy, thought it was a lame ripoff of MySpace, and me and my friend Eric were friends on MySpace. We weren't really close on YouTube because I made fun of him and hated him for hating AC/DC, but then, I started to get him. But then we started to become friends, so we became friends on MySpace after I added him, and I asked him if he's ever posted videos on MySpace, and he said, I do sometimes, and he's like, why? And I told him I've watched his YouTube videos, and then we became friends on My Yearbook, Facebook, yeah. And he definitely knew who I was.
Request from a boy by the name of Josh Evans. She thought this boy was so cute and begged me to add him. Megan and Josh started talking.
In this one, she's really beautiful. I mean, I'm not kidding. In that picture, she's really gorgeous. In this picture right here. She's really beautiful in that picture. I'd have been like her big brother or something. Big brother of just a couple months older, Okay.
Josh told Megan she was beautiful and had beautiful eyes and a great smile.
She did.
Megan thought
She had beautiful eyes, beautiful smile. Yeah.
He was as cute as can be.
Great smile.
And after 5 weeks of her and Josh talking and liking each other, Megan received a message from Josh that said, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're not a nice person. I looked at the computer and saw messages that came from Josh to Megan, Megan to Josh, and now Josh had other kids involved. These messages were mean, humiliating, and cruel. The nicest of them, so you understand where that really went, was Megan Meier's a fat ass, Megan Meier's a whore, And those were the nicest things that went out about Megan.
I think someone called her a freak too. And how is Megan a freak? Can you answer that question? How is Megan a freak?
And she took off running upstairs to her room. I went into the kitchen to talk to her dad, and probably 20 minutes passed. I stopped in mid-sentence. I just had this horrible feeling that ran through my body. I took off running upstairs to Megan's room, opened the door, and I found Megan hanging.
I hope to all the people who did that to Megan, and I hope all the friends of Josh who bullied her, I hope you guys feel the pain that they felt. I hope you feel the pain that Allison, the Buckles, and all the Meiers, like Allison Meier, her sister, Tina Meier, the dad, Ron Meier, the mother, and I messed up. I hope you feel that the pain that Allison Meier, Megan's little sister, Tina Meier, the mother, and Ron Meier, the father, the Buckles, like Blaine Buckles, and his mother, who I forgot what her name is, who were neighbors of Lori Drew. They were friends with Megan.
In her closet. Megan was transported to Children's Hospital, and 24 hours later, on October 17th of 2006, Megan passed away. Megan was weeks from being 14 years old. A few hours later, her dad left, and he went to the house to see, was there a note, was there something? How did this happen? There was no note, but he saw on Megan's instant messaging that there were 2 messages sent to her. They were from Josh, and they said, "The world would be a better place without you, and have a shitty rest of your life." These were the last 2 messages sent to Megan. I understand we all get hurt and embarrassed and humiliated and angry. But when we say those things, those few words, you can destroy another person. We found out 5 weeks after Megan passed away that this Josh Evans account, Josh was fake. He was never real.
I was called the same thing Megan was. Fat ass.
It was really a mom who lived 4 houses down the street. It was her daughter Sarah, who had been friends with Megan since the 4th grade, and another 18-year-old girl. These 3 were Josh the entire...
I think it's finally time I come out with the truth of this. With what kids said to me online. I wasn't sure if I wanted to tell anyone this, but because it was so hurtful. Eric Vierthaler, 92, and I both got bullied. Brandon's been bullied by this fucker named Ass Clown, and I've been bullied by that gay tard as well. But here's what this fuckface said about me a long time ago. "Damn, you're an ugly son of a bitch. I think this kid's a fucking retard. He's got nothing to show that I hate watching a fat-ass retard molest his dog. Show a picture of his fat, nasty-ass bitch in AC/DC all in one day." And, I think this kid's a fucking retard or something like that. The next 2 are way worse. He said, "I know people from your school. Your GF is not a bikini model. She's a fat fucking retard just like you, except she goes to this school and you go to that school. She doesn't want to marry you. She wants to marry a big black guy with a huge dick you can see from space named Bubba and suck it till it's dry. Make a video about that, you dumb fucking retard." And then one more time. That bastard said this. He said, "Hey, fat ass, AC/DC sucks my cunt and you need to die because I think all retards need to die." I printed it off and showed it to the police. And I also did print it off and showed it to a few of my friends. Dalton Delio, one of my best buddies, thought it was fucked up. And I'm like, what the hell kind of messages are these? Truthfully, I did what Megan did when she got those messages. I cried. Because I really felt hurt. And quite frankly, I heard that if you abuse that law, that And that person was really desperate. Do you want to know why that motherfucker was desperate? Because I blocked that person on one YouTube, and then and then that moron had to make a second one to message me again. That makes that person desperate for attention, and that person is just a low-life bastard scum garbage. I would have, if I would have done this myself, I would have taken out the garbage. And seriously, I just have I just have a nickname for that person. Cockboy.
Their time. Why? They wanted to find out if Megan was talking about her daughter Sarah behind her back. That was the sole purpose. It was a joke. It was funny.
It's not funny at all.
5 weeks prior to Megan's death, this family had no clue Megan was going to take her own life. But that's the problem. When we create these accounts because it's funny or it's a joke or other people think it's great and we join in, we don't have a clue of what that other person feels, what they're going through.
And that person told me that I need to die because he thinks all retards need to die, him or her, whatever the fuck it was. I'm just gonna say this. That person has no life. It's just a low-life scumbag. Because trust me, if that person looks at it, that person could have been arrested for cyberbullying and for making fun of someone that bad. Someone like that person could have got the internet revoked from their parents. I was talking to my friend about that a couple of years ago, and he said if he was that kid's parent, not only would he take the internet and smash his computer in front of him, he would have kicked him out of the house. So how would that person feel if they were homeless? At least I have a roof over my head, and you're just hiding behind your screen name saying, "Oh, yeah, this is so funny." Yeah. When you really look at it both ways, like both departments of it, like one department there of being a nice person and one department there of being a bully, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's better to be nice, because if you be a bully, it really shows that you don't have a life. You just make fun of people that you don't know. And some people like that is that lunatic, and then Fernando Arcella, who really made fun of my girlfriend in a bad way, and then that asshole gay shitwad, Jay Silence 418, along with his other account, Mr. Sluggo 666. Both me and Eric got bullied by that prick. One time I told Jay Silence 418 to fuck off because he said something really... I said something really bad to Jay Silence 418. Did I say 14? I meant 418. He said something really bad about Amanda Minimoo, aka Amanda Elizabeth, I think her name is now. I've been a subscriber of her for years. He said something really bad about her. And then I told him to F off and leave Amanda alone and leave Eric alone. And then he came on my channel and said this: "With a face as ugly as yours, you should be ashamed to post where everyone must see you have very ugly parents." And then he said something else. He said, and then he told me something really bad. I used to think his name was just Silence 418, but then he said, let me think, what else do you say? He said something else, but then there was something that he said where he said, I can't remember what his name, what all he said, but he said, "Fish hand, it probably smells like your mother's cunt," or and he called me ugly or something, and then said, your boyfriend, Eric got Lion King for Christmas, Lion King on DVD for Christmas. LOL, what a fucking pussy. Yeah, he called Eric a pussy for getting Lion King on DVD. The way Eric found that out was he watched my video where I posted it. And then Eric filmed a video about him and he was pissed. Yeah, I mean, Lion King is an excellent movie. I mean, what? I mean, how could Eric be a pussy for getting one of the greatest movies ever made for Christmas? How can you give someone hate for getting one of the greatest movies ever made for Christmas? Why would you call him a pussy for that? This is one of the greatest movies ever made. If you don't think this movie is good, then you are an idiot. This was a brilliant movie. This is my second favorite Disney movie of all time. My favorite is this one. And here's another great one. These are some of my top, you know? You know, I'm a huge Disney fan. This is my favorite Disney movie. Now, you might laugh, but this is a great Disney movie. Very underrated. It is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. This movie was well made. Aladdin, another great movie. This was actually known as the greatest Disney movie ever made for a while. The year had the era back then, like, and The Little Mermaid. You have The Little Mermaid, then you have Beauty and the Beast, then you have Aladdin. Then you have The Lion King. All great. All the peaks. You got The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and then you have Aladdin, and then you have The Lion King. And then Disney was making movies that weren't so successful, and then this movie came out and rose it. Another movie that raised Disney to more was this one. Good movie. Very good, well put together movie, though overrated, in my opinion. Frozen is overrated, in my opinion. But moving on.
These are the tragedies that can happen. As a parent, I can tell you there is no greater loss. That pain and that grief.
And the reason I was bringing that up, the earlier stuff, was because to share my bullying experience.
I will carry for the rest of my life.
And a lot of people have told me that I'm not ugly at all.
What my hope is, through hearing this story, is understanding that our words and that our actions through electronics truly can hurt another person. We don't understand what they're feeling. I know that if Megan was here today, Megan did not want her life to end. She wanted the pain to stop, and she didn't realize where to turn. That's why we're here, to make sure that you as teens...
I would have just deleted the MySpace for then, and it probably wouldn't have been so bad.
Understand that you can go talk to a trusted adult, that you can contact Teen Line. There are people out there who care and want to help you, and we want to make sure you know that those are available. If you or someone you know is exposed to bullying, please know the teens at Teen Line are here to help. There's no issue too big or too small. Please call, email, or text us.
Here we go.
Megan was a type of kid who kept you on your toes. She was diagnosed with depression and attention deficit disorder in 3rd grade. So...
I was diagnosed with a learning disability, though I don't have a learning disability. I have autism, and I'll get to that. I'll get to telling what my symptoms are after this. In another video.
Many times when you have children who have ADD or ADHD, they are constantly on the move. You're constantly, they're 10 steps ahead of you. You're trying to stay close with that. So it was a busy lifestyle, but it was good. My girls were great. We did a lot of things, family vacations. Megan was the type of child who always wanted to know about things. I mean, she was not a naive child. Megan wanted, if she found out about something, she wanted to know how it was made, how it broke down. So
that's how I am. Like, when I found out about the Declaration of War against Justin Bieber haters, I wanted to find out what other YouTubers had to say about that. And when I heard about Phoebe Prince, I wanted to know more about that. When they told me about Megan, I wanted to watch more videos about that to know what happened. And then with Amanda Todd, I wanted to watch more videos about that to know how it happened and all that.
Things were great. Megan was in middle school. She had been bullied quite a bit, especially 7th grade was horrible for her. Boys stomped behind her in the lunch line, calling her a fat cow and an elephant.
They should know how to treat a lady, but they don't because they're assholes. You know what I would have told them to do? I would have told them that if they don't stop, I'm going to let their parents know, and maybe they could show. I've known people who have gone through this shit. I got called fat ass. I never got called fat cow and an elephant. I just got called a loser. And to be honest, before middle school, I was a loser. Megan had to go through hell every day at school. And I'm going to tell a little story right here. I changed in high school. And it was all because of this. And I'll tell you that after I get to this part.
To the point that Megan stopped eating lunch. She, of course, didn't tell me about this because why would you tell a parent about this? I mean, it's embarrassing. Megan was made fun of in gym, laughed at, called thunder thighs. Bottom line is Megan was miserable. She cried every morning going to school, every evening coming home from school.
Yeah, she had to go through hell every day.
She wanted to fit in, and Megan thought, if I fit in with that popular crowd, those girls, those boys aren't making fun of those girls, so maybe they'll accept me. Unfortunately, nothing Megan did would work. Megan didn't feel, even though Megan had friends, Megan still thought that that was her answer. I used to tell her, Megan, you can't buy friendship. A friend is a friend through good and through bad, not just because you're giving them something or you can do something for them.
Here it comes. I changed in high school. It was all because I cared more about what other people thought of me than what I thought of me. Have you ever seen the movie The New Guy, the guy I was talking about, the Tourette's syndrome? That's what he went through. But he broke his dick in front of the entire school.
But I was just a mom talking. I didn't understand what she went through every day. It was about 3 weeks in, and she received a friend request from a boy named Josh Evans. And the friend request would come in, and it would show a picture in the name. And Megan called me over to the computer excited, Mom, come look at this. I went and I looked, and I said, okay, who is that? And she said, I don't know, Mom, he's hot. I said, well, Megan, I'm great. You think he's cute and all, but is he a friend of a friend, or how do you know him? And she goes, Mom, I don't. He's hot. Please let me at him. And I did let her at him. And I told her, listen, if he says anything negative, anything sexual, he's deleted immediately. And believe me, since all of this has happened, I have had some negative comments from parents and even some questions from students of, why did you let Megan add this person? Why would you do that? She didn't know them. And the specific reason is that I was afraid, what if she went to a friend's house? What if she went somewhere else and she was able to get on and add them? What if she added them under her friend's account? Even though she didn't have the password, there are still ways. So I, one, wanted to let her know that I do trust her, but secondly, I had the controls to monitor it. It was a Sunday night, October 15th of 2006, and she had filled out her birthday invitations. And it was late in the evening, and she said, hey, Mom, can I get on MySpace? I said, yeah, you can for a few minutes, so I signed her on. And she got a message from Josh that said, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're not a nice person. And Megan was confused. She was, where is this coming from? What the heck? So she told me about it, and I said, Meg, respond. Maybe you had a bad day. Who knows? So she responded, what are you talking about? Where'd you get this from? But there was no response. So about a half an hour later, I called to check on her, and Megan was crying, and I said, Meg, what's going on? And she said, Mom, they're being horrible. They're saying horrible things to me.
That was the next night.
Who? Who are you talking about? And she said, on MySpace. I said, Megan, are you still on MySpace?
I would have told her to get off and I'll talk to her, you know.
And she said, yes.
And then I would have taken her to get some ice cream or a milkshake and let her cool down.
And I said, Megan, get off the MySpace and I will be home. Probably 20 minutes went by and we were talking.
That was later.
I just got an absolute horrible feeling. I don't know how else to describe it throughout my whole body. And I took off running upstairs to Megan's room. I opened her door and I found her hanging in her closet. This is something really important that we have to start working on because technology is going to go nowhere. So we have to make sure that we can get this out there for more people to understand that it's something that kids deal with every single day, 24/7.
Alright. So, stay up to date and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Megan Meier videos. One guy told me to stop making so many Megan Meier videos. You know what? If you don't like my videos, get that fuck off my channel. So to that guy, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Stay off my channel. Stay tuned for some more Megan Meier videos. And to Megan's parents, and her sister Allison, I'm so sorry for your loss. Bye. Peace.